Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God! Chubs gone wild.
Well, hello again, and welcome to a very special episode of Chubs Gone Wild. This is episode 588, recorded on Tuesday, April 15th, 2025, where it is 85 degrees and sunny in Chubland. It's only 6 days until Easter, 200 until Halloween, and 255 until Christmas. And before we get started, let us take a moment and think about today's affirmation. I support my sense of worth, and I increase my ability to attract abundance into my life, especially ho-hos, cupcakes, and ding-dongs. They make ding-dongs anymore?
Yep,
Mm-hmm. Sounds wonderful. Do they make ho-hos anymore?
I think so.
Hmm.
So why is this a very special episode? Is this the one where they find out you've been molested by somebody that's older than you, and that's the very special episode?
Oh, man,
I know they did that
that's
with
going back
different.
to the 70s.
They did that in different strokes. I don't
Yeah.
know if you.
No,
Yeah.
this is the one where they find out that I'm jacked up on caffeine pills, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so scared. Yeah, talk about it's like when you're a kid and you're watching that, you're like, oh my God, she's a drug addict, and then you realize it's caffeine pills, and you're like, oh girl, really? Jeez. All right, stay away from coffee, girl. Um, So no, it's a very special episode because it is the last one that we're gonna do before we have to take a 2 week break because you get to go on a fun, awesome trip. So just letting everyone know, 2 weeks, and then yeah, then we'll be back with fun and frivolity as we hear about Tom's adventures where he went to. All right. Well, let's talk about Patreon really quick, which offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Mr. Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com to find out how you can become a supporter of our work for as little as $1 a month. And you can cancel anytime after that first initial dollar. Well, guess what? It was a big day in history. President Abraham Lincoln is shot in the head at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. in 1865. The assassination by actor John Wilkes Booth as he shouted, Sic Semper tyrannous, which means basically ever thus to tyrants. Okay. The South is avenged as he jumped onto the stage and fled on horseback. Uh, Lincoln died the next morning. Also,
Wait, how was the play though?
well, I was just wondering if he jumped onto a horse on the stage.
No.
It was okay. So that I was like, that's interesting. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know how the play went. We never got to finish it. Noah Webster, a Yale-educated lawyer, and had a vivid interest in language and education, published his, well, American Dictionary of the English Language in 1828. Woohoo! And now we go to him, to the website and say, oh, tell me how to spell this word that I should have learned in sixth grade, but I keep messing up the E and the I. So sad. So sad. So me. Okay, whoa. What are you doing? Oh, God. Uh, all right, now I gotta try to figure this out. Our
Or you can do it. Use your words.
uh Trello has completely updated and changed a bunch of shiz, and now our holidays and birthday links, which just go to the page. It's a link that goes to the page, and it is now not linking. So one moment while we fix this here. See if we can pause our recording. Okay, and we're back, and let's see if we celebrate any of these amazing holidays that came up today. Excuse me, starting with Anime Day. Do you watch anime?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Um, it is Holy Tuesday, as in, holy shit, my tooth just hurt. Um, nope. Income tax payday. Well, I guess we celebrated that early. Let's see, Jackie Robinson Day. No. McDonald's Day. No? Okay. Micro volunteering. Okay. Whatever. National ASL Day. Glazed spiral ham. Nope. Gripers Day. Well, you gripe a lot. Or is it no, it wouldn't be gripper, it would be gripers. Okay. So probably not the fish, which is a grouper, just saying. It's also National Laundry Day. I have not celebrated that today, anyway. Library workers, we love them. Rubber eraser, no. National That Sucks Day. Well, we do live in America. Let's see. Take a wild guess. Nope. Titanic Remembrance. I remembered something very, very titanically. There you go. And also World Art Day. Do you do much art?
I do not. Well, didn't the Titanic go down on the
What?
April, it was what, 14th or 15th?
April 15th, yes.
Yeah, that's why it's Titanic Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
otherwise it'd just be a really big remembering thing. All right, well, let's go on to birthdays. All righty. Happy birthday to David, Shiking, and Fred. Also, we have some other amazing birthdays coming up, including Danny, Devin, Jake, Jeff, Dennis, Alan, Joey, Oliver, Jack. We've got Joe, author BJ Thomas, author Tommy Kelly, and we hope that you have all of you just a wonderful, wonderful exiting of the birth canal. Memorial Remembrance Day. Oh, it looks like Zillithag's birthday is coming up too. That's pretty awesome. We love us some Zillithag. All right. What we got next? Let's see if Trello will let us tell us. Well, of course, we heard at the top of the show from the amazing Kathy Bacon, who reminded us that Ms. Beaver, Miss Kim Beaver, who is out there somewhere in Podland in Pride 48 world, um, but sadly most of us don't really hear from her anymore. But yes, she'd be very unhappy that she's making us sick. So, or making all those people in the wild sick anyway. So thank you for reminding us of that, Ms. Kathy. We really appreciate that. And we also got a little something in our feedback from Sean, who said cake and pizza is good food. What else does anyone need? I agree. I absolutely agree. Good cake, good pizza. Heaven.
No, it doesn't have to be particularly good cake and good pizza.
It helps.
It helps, but cake and pizza,
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah.
Pretty much always good.
True. All right, well, it's time for Chub Hugs, and we want to send some Chub Hugs out. And I sent you a little story this morning about little Nas X, who is in the hospital and can't has one side of his face paralyzed.
Yeah, that's because he's got Bell's palsy.
Thank
And
you.
why is he in the hospital?
Well, I imagine he probably didn't know what the hell was going on and went in because, that's what you do. You
Well,
go
I
in
know,
and you
but
get checked out.
you usually don't have to be checked into the hospital, though.
Oh, well, you know how they are with celebrities. They want to
True.
run all those tests but the thing that got me was, I mean, you looked at it right away, we knew, okay, he's got Bell's palsy. Okay. But so many people in the comments were like, I just think it's hilarious how people are jumping to Bell's palsy when obviously it's cocaine related or it's all the drugs that he's doing. Oh my God. It's like, God, people are just, that's how we ended up here. I'm just saying. Mean, evil. Well, there's so much other stuff, other people and things that we'd love to give Chub Hugs out to, and I know you probably have a few as well.
Well, first of all, somebody needs to give chub hugs out to the people in the South, from basically Texas to, I think it's all the way to like Florida or Georgia, where they're getting these storms, these tornadoes, or they're getting these terrible storms, and I just see them across my screen all the time, and it's just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
um and but then it's just happens. There's nothing to do with the difference in climate.
Right. Nope, nothing at all. Mm-mm. Anyone else?
um well, I did go to a funeral yesterday, so my friend whose mother died, I sent him out chub hug as well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do a little bit of news here. A viral video has sparked controversy over a restaurant's unusual discount policy. The slimmer you are, the less you pay. The eatery features colorful skinny discount bars, offering price cuts from 20 to 10% depending on how narrow a gap diners can squeeze through. Fail to fit any of them, you pay full price. Footage shows patrons laughing as one man struggles to contort himself through the tiniest space, eventually settling for a modest 5% discount. Meanwhile, a female diner earns a 15% off twice, drawing teasing commentary from friends. While some viewers praised the gimmick as funny and brilliant, others slammed it as discriminatory and harmful. This promotes eating disorders, one critic wrote. One commenter quipped, in America, this place would get sued. while another added airlines should adopt this. Then we'll see the real outrage. Whether playful or problematic, this promo definitely has people talking. What do you think about that?
Um, I don't.
Hmm. Okay.
I haven't seen any of this, so yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, you got
I
it, but just for any of our listeners that really didn't kind of get it, it's just this thing of metal bars, and you have to squeeze through it, and depending on what you can squeeze through, you can get discounts for if you're super skinny.
I
And
know, but my question is
yeah,
so this is for a restaurant, correct?
yes.
Okay, they're implying that the skinnier people are going to eat less.
Uh, I
I mean, is it
don't.
like is it, oh, maybe it's like a buffet?
I didn't think it was a buffet, but I'm not sure.
Because
It,
I just don't understand. I mean, I know people who are super skinny that can eat a lot of shit.
yeah,
And then I know people like myself who eat like, birds. They barely eat anything. It's
yeah, I know. Yes, it's so true. Yeah, ostriches. So, um, I don't know. It just sounds like it's gonna piss a bunch of people off and make other bunch of people enjoy being mean to other people. So it just seems stupid. I don't know if I'd necessarily be offended by it, but I would just think it was really stupid. All right. And now it's time for some sad celebrity deaths.
well, Blondie drummer Clem Burke has died at the age of 70.
Oh,
Uh,
oh,
Patty Malone, who played Chewbacca's son in the Star Wars holiday special, she
oh.
passed away at 89. I don't know why that's on here, but somebody put it on there. Let's see. William Finn, the Tony Award winning composer and lyricist of Falsetto and the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and much more, has sadly passed away at 73,
Hmm.
which seems kind of young for a playwright. I mean, well, actually, he's more of a composer than but yes, very sad. Although, if you look at falsettos, it's there's very little dialogue. It's a lot of it is spoken. Um, well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but still 73, too young. Ted Kosheff, he's the director of, well, basically in the 70s, everything. First Blood, Weekend at Bernie's, Film with Dick and Jane, North Dallas 40, Who's Killing the Great Chefs of Europe. He died at 94.
Hmm.
Uh, Actor Nicky Katt, who played Sean Donovan in V, the series, has died at 54. Oh, that's another one surprisingly showed up here.
That's
Um,
pretty young. Hmm.
and then actress Jean Marsh, she's dead at 90.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, she did everything back in the 70s and 80s. She did a lot of guesting, but lately she's best known for being in Willow and Return to Oz. She died at 90 peacefully in her bed, um, surrounded by loved ones. So
Yeah.
that was nice.
Yeah, the main reason I knew of her was because she was one of the main creators of Upstairs Downstairs, which was a, British TV show. Uh, and that's how I came to know her. And then I would just see her everywhere and everything. In fact, recently I saw her in like two or three different things, like within like a week of each other. All right. Well, and now Tom wants to talk to you about his week.
Oh, let's see. So, let's see. Where are we? We're okay. I'm 2 episodes away from finishing 6 seasons of Lost, so
Oh,
that's exciting. Um, uh, let's see um, just moving along with spring baking championship. The big problem I have with this season is that there's just nobody. There's no season season boyfriend.
mm. Yeah.
because you always root for the who you think is cute, and it's just nobody. So that's sad. Um, we did finish mid-century modern,
Yeah.
um, with because we had gotten as far as the death of Linda Lavin, and so the final episode we finished, and so I show IMDb shows the second season coming. I have not heard that anywhere else, but
Mhm.
usually they don't do that unless it's there.
Right.
So which is good. Like to see a second season of that. American Idol, they picked their top 24 and they took them to Hawaii, and I have not yet watched that episode, but that's where we're at right now. Um, oh, wait, just a minute. DJ Starsight, second interview secured. I wonder what that's all about. Sorry, it just came across my screen. Um, from Threads.
Yeah.
Anyway, RuPaul's Drag Race, they had this is season 17 lip sync Lollapalooza SmackDown, and that's where they bring back all of the queens that have been sent away, sashayed away, and they give them one last chance to do lip syncs, and whoever wins the lip sync SmackDown gets $50,000.
Oh,
And so
wow.
that ended up going to Miss Susie Toot, who is all over. It's so funny
And I've
because
seen her.
in this is the 2 weeks between the where they pick the top four, and then this Friday will be the final where they pick a new drag star, and but it's all I keep seeing online is about Susie Toot getting kicked out at number 5.
Yeah.
There's much more talking about that than there is talking about the 4 that still remain, which I thought was interesting. Um, Top Chef this week, they had a double elimination, which was basically it was kind of a cool episode because what they did was they sent everybody in couples because they're in Toronto. They sent them around to different style restaurants, like a Korean restaurant, like a Mexican restaurant, like a whatever. So they each had to go in and each couple went in and learned a new style of food, and then for the competition they had to come back and cook something in that style. So and the two people who made it's basically it's kind of like a rice ball, but it was mushy inside, so they left. So they went to Last Chance Kitchen.
Mhm.
um on Masked Singer this week, they had the Yorkie went home, and that was Erica James, who is, I guess, some housewife in the
And Real
housewives
Housewives.
world. Yeah. So
Mhm.
it's like whenever we get those, we're always like, yeah, how are we supposed to know this? How are we supposed to know this person? Um, let's see. The Connors, I think we're 3 episodes in of the 7 episodes to finish the season, the series. So
Yeah.
Jackie wants to go back to be a cop, but she's in her 70s now, so
Uh,
that's probably not a good idea. But she says she's going to do it, and Darlene is just a bitch. And let's see, we finished up the Pit. That is the ER series in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Finished up with that, and yeah, looked it was good. Uh,
uh,
it's funny because people online are going, so do they have to wait till the Emmys to get their Emmys, or do we just hand them out now?
uh,
Because that's the kind of show it is. You saw White Lotus finale?
yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Um, the Residents, we're getting through. That is the Murder at the White House, kind of a fun who
Uh,
done it. You don't like it?
I loved it. I
Oh,
finished it. I
okay.
absolutely loved it.
Okay, so we have not finished it. So
Uh,
and oh, Antarctic. It was yeah, alone actually in the Arctic Circle, not Antarctic. I gotta fix that. Just fix that because that's what the other one was, Alone in the Antarctic. So anyway, it's just started snowing, and then the guy he's had like he took these fish, cleaned it out, and he froze it and kept it frozen. But when he went to look at the fish, mice had been inside the cavity of the fish, eating it and pooping. And he goes, "Look at all this, everything black. That's mouse poop, mouse." And it's like, okay, that's disgusting. Let's see. I watched Survivor this week, but I didn't write anything down. So moving on. I'm almost finished with season 2 of Smash, which I've got to get through this week because next week I'll be seeing the Broadway version of Smash. Let's see, the Studio, which is on Apple TV. Seth Rogen. It's actually a pretty funny show. He's working for he's a studio head who wants to bring back the joy of film and the studio. Where they're making fabulous movies, but the studio itself wants to make crap and make money. So it's him constantly trying to do stuff. Except in this the one episode that we watched, Ron Howard has made this movie, and so they're watching the movie, and the first 2 hours of the movie is great, and they loved it. And then all of a sudden they think, "What a great ending! Oh, it's not over yet." And then there's 45 thought-provoking minutes left of the movie, and it's a big turd, right? So they have to tell Ron Howard that he has to cut that last half out of the movie because it's awful. It's just awful. And at one point they get into shouting and almost fight. They're almost fighting, and Seth Rogen calls Ron Howard a bald fuck, I think is what he called him. So that was kind of funny. But they keep using like real celebrities. So when things happen, it's like, oh, here's Ron Howard. Ron Howard just showed up. Someone's got to tell him this movie's shit, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty clever. And did you see that the Black Mirror is on Netflix, new season?
I've never seen any of that.
Oh my God. Okay, the first episode.
Yeah.
First episode is about this couple. They're just kind of a normal couple. He works on like he builds things. He's like on a, I don't know if he's putting up buildings or whatever, but he builds stuff. She's a teacher. She has they find out she has a tumor, a brain tumor. So what happens is they have to figure out what they're going to do. So what happens is this person comes to them and says, well, there's a new system that they're doing right now for this. And what happens is to remove the tumor, they actually have to remove the part of the brain that the tumor touches. So they have to take all that out. But good news, they've got a system now where they can copy that part of the brain and hook it up to Wi-Fi, so you can always access that from the cloud. That portion of your brain can always be accessed through the cloud, right? And so, and it only is going to cost you $300 a month to get that access.
Gosh.
Of course, if you don't get this, then she probably won't survive. So they pay the $300 a month, and she's doing okay, except when they try driving out of the area, they find out that there's like roaming charges, because they only have it available in her area. So if they want to get to leave that area, you can get the plus, but that's going to cost you $500 more a month on top of the three. But it's fine. And then all of a sudden, she starts getting ads. So depending on the situation, so if it was like you and I, we would be talking about, Squarespace. It's a great way to start your own, have your own web design right on the internet. But she doesn't realize she's talking about it when she does the ads. So but you can get rid of that. That also is included in the plus. You get rid of that. So they keep to have a more interesting life, they keep trying to get her to buy more and more and more. It's so disturbing because I mean, we sit and bitch about cable. This is she either they have to pay or she dies. Basically. So it's that, but that's what the Black Mirrors are. They're these weird. It's Twilight Zone, Outer Limitsy kind of show. So
Yeah.
that we've only seen the first episode, but it was excellent. And we only saw one movie this week. It was Wicked. So but that's it. We watched it when we were in Bakersfield.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Popped it on the television in the room.
Uh,
We got a special cable that can take anything from my iPad or my iPhone and
oh.
put it on TV.
Oh.
It's good.
Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying that show so much.
Yeah, and so that is kind of it for my week. Now, have you caught up on Matlock?
I have not.
Okay, because you're gonna shit your
I
pants.
heard.
I want
Yeah.
I want to I
Went
want to
to
hear about you
Karen
shitting your pants.
and got some ibuprofen Imodium just waiting for that episode.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Well,
have
there's
that to
two.
watch.
There's two. You're two behind,
Oh.
and the
Oh.
season finale is this week. So
Oh, okay. Uh, well, I will catch up on that, and then I have been. Let's see, it's been kind of a crazy little week for me. I haven't been able to watch too much, but Heather came over and we were going to watch Blake 7, catch up some more on that. There's 4 series of it at 13 episodes apiece, and we are about halfway through the first season series, and we went to watch it, and well, lo and behold, Amazon has put it all behind yeah, we have to buy each episode individually, and we were not going to do that. So we switched, and DJ Starsage had recommended a show called Moonbase 3, which is a limited series from 1973, I believe, and it is on YouTube. A nice British space series, and we watched episode 1 and said, nope. So, but we got that one episode in. And then, well, The Residence, which you talked a little bit about, I will not go into detail because I don't want to give you any spoilers, but trust me, um, it's a ride. It's a ride. It is an easy, fun watch and so many neat twists and turns, and I just love it. So I am really hoping that they are gonna do more because it's one of those shows that you just like. That is a damn good show.
now, did you notice what the names of the episodes are?
No.
Well, it's weird. The last two episodes not are not this way, but the first episodes, up to that, all the episodes are named after famous mysteries or like Dial M for Murder is one of them.
I did
Um,
see that.
Last of Sheila was one,
I
which
did
is
see
a
that.
great murder mystery
Yeah.
movie. Not too many people know about, but yeah. So I don't know why they're doing that and why the last two episodes aren't based on famous
Hmm.
mysteries, but I guess they're making their own.
Yeah, I
So
guess so.
yeah.
Well, I do remember seeing the title for Dial M, but I don't remember seeing the other episode titles, so I must have just blanked on it. Let's see then, but yeah, that's a really great show. I except for the new episode, which I believe is out today. I'm caught up on Daredevil Born Again, and it's at a point now where it is getting really, really interesting. And so I really hope that I think this next one is probably going to be the finale. So I'm hoping it delivers big time. Um, and if it isn't the finale, I hope it's not another one of those episodes where you just are so bored through it, wishing they would do something.
What,
Uh,
Daredevil?
yeah.
Yeah.
And his relationship with the therapist, lawyer, the therapist person, who cares? They're not a good fit. They don't have any chemistry. She's just overly demanding, and I don't know. And just who cares about that? Anyway, I honestly, I think that he would do better with a boyfriend. And I'm not saying that just because I love gay content. That character and the way Charlie Cox is, playing it, it feels like he doesn't work with any of the women. And I just think maybe he would be better with a guy. So anyway, and then finally last night I did get to watch G20 finally, which is the new movie on Amazon Prime. It's about the president of the United States, who is a black woman who used to be in the military. Was a military hero and got her photo on Time magazine and basically propelled her to being the president. And she has developed a plan to solve world hunger and gets the top richest 20 nation leaders together at this kind of G summit thing. And then, of course, terrorists uh, take over. And it's a big action movie. So if you love the action movies, if you love the whole, you know, uh, kick ass, and I love the fact that this is such a diverse movie. It's a DEI movie. Yeah. And I'm there for every fucking bit of it. The strong characters, you care about the characters, the story is interesting. Homelander is the bad guy in it, naturally. Not the character, but the guy that plays him. And it's just one of those movies where you're like throwing the popcorn in your face because it's so fucking fun to watch. So anyway, go see it if you want. It's on Amazon. So, and that was pretty much my week. All right. Well, let's move into some advice. I enter the restroom at work earlier, and both urinals are marked out of order, so I had to go into one of the stalls. I didn't think anything of it, and I just went in to pee. Someone else came into the restroom and yelled that I should close the damn door next time as they walked to the next stall. Standing in a stall, even with the door open, gives more privacy than the tiny dividers between the actual urinals. I guess I can see where if there's a door, it should be used, but it's not like I was pulling my pants down. So am I the asshole for not closing the stall door?
Well, this doesn't seem to be much of an issue.
Huh.
You know, asshole? No, I don't think.
Uh-uh.
I don't think you're an
If the
asshole.
other person's an asshole for having to say something,
Well,
no fucking big deal.
yes and no.
It's not
Because
proper etiquette.
it's startling when somebody's in a stall with the door open. It's like, what's go?
He's not sitting on the toilet. He's
Well,
standing
I know he's
with his
not
back
sitting
to
on
the
the
door.
toilet, but it's still just weird because the door's there. Shut it. I mean, Yeah,
I think it's absolutely stupid, and the other guy shouldn't have said anything. So
probably not, but
probably drunk.
oh yeah, because they're at work.
I went
But
to the restroom. Oh yeah, at work. Okay. Well, yeah. Still, maybe they work in a bar. Anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you're not the asshole. Uh, hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know what's one opinion you had in the past you're glad you no longer have?
Um, that's a hard one.
I know.
One?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't know if it's necessarily opinion. That people who don't have a monogamous marriage are like bad people, whores, or that type of thing. Because when I was younger, I was like, monogamy is the only way to go. Now I'm just like, okay, people have open marriages. That's their thing. I'm stop. I'm not judgy about that shit anymore.
I think just the whole um idea of gender
Mm, okay.
is, because I know that for me, um I mean I was always liberal, but
Yeah.
um you know we it's just how we're kind of taught stuff. And I knew, like I remember when the somebody came into, I was working at Sears. Somebody, came in, and the room, everyone's talking because there's a man trying on dresses in the women's area.
Oh.
Oh my God,
Uh,
and when they came up to, they got a credit for something, and I was in the credit office, so I had to pay them for it.
hmm
Nobody wanted to help them, but and I helped them,
hmm
but then it was just like, okay, I assumed it was just a cross dresser,
Yeah.
but that's an assumption that may have been true. But the fact is, there it could be something else. Now I
Mhm.
realize that there's so many more different things that situation could have possibly be, and
Oh,
it could have been. So yeah,
yeah.
I've grown.
Yeah. Okay. Hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know what do movies get wrong about love?
Everything.
I was just gonna say that, but you go ahead.
I mean, um it's I don't know. It's just I listen to people like the guy, I can't think of his name now. The gay sex guy that does it. What's
Dan.
his name? Dan Savage,
hmm
and how much he gets wrong. The How much of the assumption is on everything to deal with love. Love, and then sex, and just yeah. There's everything. They get everything wrong. Occasionally they get kind of close, but then they don't. You know, it's we everybody wants Cinderella. They
Yeah,
want to, and that's the problem. That's what they keep forcing us to watch, but we don't usually get to see much of the real thing.
right. I think that they get as much wrong as that they do get right. I mean, there are instant, you know, connections. There are this, that, and the other thing. And as a romance novelist, I write a lot of that. But the truth is that love in real life is messy. It's not perfect. You fight, you figure it out. You just you have to not give up on one another if you really are going to make it work. But let me tell you, when you see red flags, just fucking run. Um,
Well, and we always get. I mean, Sean and I get. Well, you guys don't fight enough.
fuck that.
It's like, because well,
Yeah,
we don't fight at all. There's
right.
very few instances where we fight over something, and if it is, it's usually, I don't want to go and have that. I don't want to go to In and Out. I'd rather go somewhere else.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a fight for us.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's so weird because uh, the the thing that you know about love is whatever is your concept and what you have perceived as that.
What your story
The,
is.
yeah, the movies, and television, they give you what they think they want you, what they think they give you what they think you want, but they don't bother asking you what you want, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Chubbs, Timothy wants to know how old is your home, and is there a design detail that gives away its age?
Not mine. I mean, I know how old my house was built in 55. I know that,
No.
but it's uh actually the only thing that's interesting about the house is that it's got a two-car garage
Hmm.
and a driveway. When
That's pretty fancy.
up I know when we first moved in, we were one of the few houses on the block that actually had a driveway,
Hmm.
because they built they built a lot of the houses in they were for the new family homes where it was two baths or two bedrooms, one bath, like 800 square feet.
Hmm.
Meant for a starting out family home, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Post World War II, and that's what quite a few of these houses are. They didn't come with a driveway. They didn't. You just parked in front of the house, and since then people have added driveways, but ours always had a driveway because we had a garage. And some of these places that did have garages, they were only the one car garage,
Hmm.
but they didn't have a driveway. So I still don't understand why some of these people have garages if
Hmm.
they didn't have a driveway.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, we don't have a garage here, but we have a kind of a long uh drive with a gated area. So
Now, can you actually open that up and move a car in there, or is it the
oh
gate
yeah.
is
Yeah.
okay?
It used to be we used to keep, well, the owner before us kept his car in there, and then before that, or after that, we kept my father's truck in there because it wasn't really running that much. So, and for some reason he was special. Uh, anyway, I don't know. I think this place was built in the late 50s, early 60s, somewhere in that time range. And no, I can't really think of anything like distinguishing that makes it stand out other than just it's a very typical style for that time frame. But almost all the houses around here kind of are the same type of,
Well, they were probably all the same
yeah.
uh,
Built.
division that they brought in when they
Oh, wait a
created.
minute. You know what? Actually, if I remember right, this house was brought in and kind of placed here.
Well,
I don't
you've
know.
got the worst front porch. I know that much.
Well, apparently that front porch is not the original. Apparently, like I think the owner before us, I think he actually made it because there weren't any steps or anything there, and so he made it himself, which is why it is so bad because the steps are so high and so uneven. They're not standard size. People fall on them all the time, and it's just awful. And
Well,
you have
yeah.
to, if you're a fatty and you're trying to get up from that top step, it is a bitch.
Well, I'm talking about how the door is doesn't face the street.
Oh, well, there's that too. Yeah,
Because I mean, try to get a gurney in and out of there.
they have. I mean,
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not, no, they usually try to walk them down or carry them down and then place them on the gurney. But yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very odd little porch there.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, well, next up is I remember. And I remember my first pet that was not a dog or a cat.
I only had one animal or one thing that wasn't a dog or a cat, and that was we had hamsters.
Ooh,
And those hamsters kept having hamsters. We used to take baby hamsters over to um,
right.
the pet store constantly.
Okay, well that's something. Yeah. My first pet that was not a dog or a cat was probably my bunny, and his name was Easter. And he was a white bunny, and he lived a very happy, long bunny life, about 11 years, and had he was used for breeding, so he had many, 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 many descendants, which I did not know was going on until I was older. And my mom said, "Oh yeah, he had a really happy life." Um, but he was a very nice bunny, and I got to like feed him and water him and pet him, and he hung out outside, so he in a nicely kept area cage, so he got lots of good love. Um, and then, well, I mean, I had a horse and stuff like that all when I was a kid. But okay, but that was not my first. My first was my bunny. All right, Mr. Moose wrote in, and oh my God, they changed this as well. Why? Why do you have to change stuff? Why? I don't understand. Okay, well, let's see if we can get through this. Mr. Moose wrote in and said, using my baby ice cream machine to make a banana ice cream. Beginning to get frozen, should be eating a bowl in 15 minutes. Well, first off, that's awesome, but banana ice cream does not sound that good to me.
That sounds good.
I'm glad you like it. I mean,
You don't like?
I like banana cream pie. I love, and I like bananas, but banana ice cream just does not sound that good. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me right now. Because you could say that at another time, and I'd be like, oh yeah, sure. Maybe with some coconut. All right. At the gym, heavy shoulder training felt great. A lot of sets and a lot of weight. Starving after. Bought Cantonese fish, white sauce, batter, fried fish, and veggies. So good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Wanted something different with a bit of heat. Szechuan eggplant with chicken and minced pork. Not a pretty picture, but sure tasty. Lots of garlic, ginger, and hot pepper. Touch of vinegar in the sauce. Hmm, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm so hungry right now.
Baked a pan of brownies on Wednesday. Didn't think Carl would eat any. He usually doesn't eat sweets. What's wrong with the man? He loved them. Kept going back in the kitchen and getting brownies for 2 days. It lasted 2 days. When they were gone, he sadly said, "We're out of brownies." Up at 6 a.m. to bake another batch.
Yeah.
Yay! Chocolate brownie with walnuts. Let me tell you, even with your nuts, I would eat those brownies. Those look amazing. I like a lighter, cakier brownie.
No, I don't like them as cakey.
You like them more gooey?
Not particularly gooey, but just not cakey.
Yeah. I do like a really good crisp on the edges.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Mr. Scott wrote in and said, "Hey guys, Scott here. Mark and I went out for breakfast last weekend to the Fox and Goose on our street. Wow. Uh, I had 2 eggs, toast, and a banger. Oh, it was so delicious. I love their bangers. Mark had French toast. He said it was absolutely delicious. We have been coming here for about the last 30 years. It's a nice English pub. Yeah, I think I've eaten there maybe twice.
Yeah, I've eaten there before. I just can't get over how many pieces of French toast that is.
I know, right? That's crazy. I mean, that's really, really neat. And then what was the other thing there? Look at that banger. That's pretty damn good. I do love a good banger. Yeah. Then we had okay, well that's good. And now, if you want to send us what's in your
No,
lunchbox,
no, 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 no,
what?
no.
No?
I've let you go on this entire episode. I've been waiting for you to talk, but you haven't said a word.
What?
Well, I
Oh.
would think that maybe the people who listen to us might be excited to know that Chubb's Gone Wild placed number 31
Mm.
in the list of queer comedy podcasts in the nation.
Ow, that's pretty dang awesome.
And I just, I wished it was we were 30, just so we could say we were in the top 30 instead of the top 40. Because
Yeah.
we were in the it's funny because we weren't notified. I was on X and I'm looking, it says, hey, queer comedy shows, and the boys were on there, the Foul Monkeys were on there.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? And there we were. And it even listed us.
Yeah.
It's not, it's like somebody knew what they were doing when they made the list. So I was very excited and proud that we did something. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's pretty dang awesome. I'm really glad that you found that because I wouldn't have, but I mean, there was, Gayish on the list and the Feast of Fun, and there's a lot of like podcasts that have been around a long time and have a really good, good following. So to see us listed, that's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah. So now if you want to see, if you want to send us something that's in your lunchbox, you can always send it, or you can see it at facebook.com Chubs Gone Wild, or you can send us pictures of your lunch
Mm-hmm.
at chubsgonwild@gmail.com. You can
Yeah.
find my other podcast at swanandjudd.com, and you can find Matt's other projects, including his books at justkisstheguy.com. Or you can find all the links on all my links.com/Chubs Gone Wild. And once again, if there you want to send us anything, pictures of your lunch, questions, anything, you can do that at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. And if you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe, because we are number 31 of the best queer podcasts, podcasts on the internet. So
We're funny.
yeah, it's weird. I thought it would have been the other one, because the other one's funnier than you mean you're not funny, so I'm not sure why we got this.
I don't know. That's just how we roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Did
All
you
right.
like the way I threw in that you're not funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Just
fine.
making sure that
You're the funny one. That's fine because on the other one, I'm the funny one, and on this one, I'm just here and queer. That's how we roll. All right. We will see you back here in 3 episodes.
well,
So,
no, 3 weeks,
yeah,
no episodes.
no episodes for 2
Yeah.
weeks. So we'll
Right.
be back for another episode in 3 weeks.
On the 4th.
Yay! Of
All right.
July. Wait, of May. Oh, May the 4th be with you.
It's not here. Yeah. Do that in a couple weeks.
All right.
All right.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.